Welcome back everyone. Today I'm reviewing Filecoin, ticker code FIL. So we'll check this coin out. This is one of those data storage sort of fundamental coins. I still think Arweave is better, but nonetheless we'll check the charts on Filecoin. We'll compare it to USD. I'll give you some price predictions. We'll compare it to Bitcoin and Ethereum. But first, let's just quickly run through the crypto market update just to see how things are currently at in the overall space. Won't spend too much time in here because not much has happened. As I said in my last video, I expected a bit of a pullback, a bit of a slowdown. Bitcoin still hovering around that 0.382 mark at around 43,000. And I do expect it to continue to dip a little bit low, but I do expect it to find some support around that 382 mark, around that $41,000 mark. So bit of a pullback happening. Crypto's had a very good run. As you can see, we've had a lot of days up. It's only natural we get a bit of a pullback. Nothing to worry about unless we get a heavy sell-off day like we did on the 21st of January. We're just seeing all the weak hands gone. All the strong hands are left. So Bitcoin is rising. And we all know once Bitcoin runs, the rest of the coins will go. So let's have a look at Ethereum. Like I said, very similar to Bitcoin, pulling back. Maximum I see Ethereum going to is around that 1 mark at $2,819. I do not see it breaking that at all. Ethereum has just looked so strong at a whopping 42% increase in just a matter of a few weeks. Looking very strong. And this is why I love comparing coins to ETH, because it is strong. Whatever you think about the fundamentals, ETH is a strong coin. And it does give you good investment returns. Looking at total market cap 1, which includes all of crypto, getting a bit of a pullback. Won't say much more than that other than a perfect rejection at the 50% mark. So we'll retrace, have another go at it. Total market cap 2, which includes all cryptos except for Bitcoin. Bit of a rejection at the 618 mark, like I said. Bit of a pullback. Most I see this going down at is a 786 mark at around that $1 trillion mark. And then we start going into total market cap 3, which includes all altcoins except for Bitcoin and Ethereum, or all coins, I should say, except for Bitcoin and Ethereum. And once again, perfect rejection at the 50% retracement tool at around that $760 billion market cap. Lowest I see this going is around that 786 mark at around 685 billion. Maximum I can see it going to is the 1 mark as well. But these are heavy sell-off days, as you can see. But we just had some big sell-offs in January. So like I said, all the weak hands are cleared. We're ready to start moving a little bit more forward, but I think we'll be moving a bit more slower because there's just so much uncertainty in the world. Bitcoin dominance, I did say I expected a bit of a pullback and we'll start going a bit more forward. So that's exactly what's happened. We've had a pullback yesterday, moving a little bit forward. Still see this coin or this chart going a bit sideways, I should say. Like I've been saying for a few videos now, maximum I see BTC dominance going at is around that 44, call it 45% BTC dominance maximum before we get a hit down again and the old start rising. Now we'll go through Filecoin. Now, like I said, this is one of those data storage cryptos. I love data storage. Any crypto that is doing things that aren't competitive is really what you want to be looking at. There are still some data storage ones, namely Arweave, which looks much better on a chart than this. I'm just going to say that outright. But I have to be honest with all of my videos because I always am, and I have to call it like it is. This is just a downtrend. You can see putting the all-time high in April and just been on a massive downtrend since then. I think maybe it's just because of Arweave just stealing this market cap, because Arweave is looking much better on a chart. But this isn't about Arweave, this is about Filecoin. But you can just see against its USD value that we're pretty much at the ultimate support here, and we're actually going to the lows that we put in February last year. You don't really want to see that. You want to see your cryptos always going for new highs, pushing for new highs. You want it to be striving for it. And the fact that we had September 7th as a really high point for this coin and it wasn't able to get to the all-time high anywhere near it, not a very good look, because coins typically have a tough time going to their all-time highs and setting new all-time highs. That's why Bitcoin and Ethereum, for as much crap as they get, they're actually pretty good because at least they're always aiming for all-time highs. You know Ethereum's going to be worth more next year. But you can't say that with some other alts. You really can't, because look at this coin. You would have been holding for pretty much almost a year, and you would have been so far down holding a whole year with an altcoin, while other ones have done much better. So always compare your alts on a chart and see what's happening. Now, let's have a look a bit of a deeper. There's our major 50% at around that $68.57 mark. Came down, crashing down, heavy sell-off day on the 4th of December. And of course, everyone knows what happened in January. This is on the daily, looking at our fib extension tool where we currently are at, where we found support on the 618 mark at around that $18.42 mark. Found some good resistance, but we were able to push through around that 50% mark, rejected almost perfectly. You can see here on the 8th of February at around that 0.382 mark, came down, couldn't find support on our 50% mark at around that $22 mark, which is not a good look. But of course, we had the ultimate support at the 618 mark. Didn't even really need to touch it, battling the 50% again. So just looking a little bit of weakness at the moment, not really looking good. Let's have a look at volume and see what's happening there. So you can obviously see a volume bar, so massive sell-off days. You can see a whopping 22 million units of Filecoin being traded on the 4th of December. Huge sell-off day. Looked like support was almost coming in because it closed relatively strong, but you can just see, look at that. distribution, all there. That is all people about to get dumped on and they don't even know it yet. And this is why if you're trading coins, you do want to have a stop loss because you can just go against you. You might be thinking, oh, we're doing okay. And then heavy sell-off day, sell-off. Can't hold on 382 mark, breaks down. Can't hold at the 50% mark, which in my books is the most important mark to hold. Doesn't. Finds finally support on the 618 mark before we get going. Look at the volume, not much. You did get some good consecutive days going from the 3rd of the Feb all the way up to the 8th of February, but not really moving the needle, not really moving. I mean, this is why I say to you, volume is really, really important. You want to see what the smart money is doing. And if I was trading this coin, this would be a very quick in and out. The good news though is that you did get some consecutive days up on low volume. So we had it on the 14th, 15th, and 16th of some good, nice, strong days, but there's just better options out there. And I have to be honest about that. This is something I wouldn't really be even trading, to be honest. It just looks extremely weak on a chart. And, you know, I have plenty of videos. I did a video on AVAX yesterday. I'll link that below as well, but that looked much better on a chart. So let's have a look at what Filecoin could potentially do with its price points. So just going back into the extension tool, we're currently at the 50% mark, which is $22. Next mark after that is $27 at that 382 mark, which he attempted on the 8th of February, couldn't get there. 0.236 mark at $32, which found heavy resistance there. And the next mark after that would be the 0 mark, which is at $41. And then from there would start creeping up more and more to around that $50 mark, a major 50% mark at around that $68 mark. And then we can keep going as well to the $81 mark. But there's a lot of resistance barriers this coin has to go through. And even if you keep looking, I mean, you can just see pretty much since about 27th of September, look at that volume just drying up. And the only big bars you see, red. Low volume, big red one. Low volume, big red one. Low volume, big red one. Not really what you want to see. These are what weak cryptos look like. If we have a look at the hourly chart, it actually looks a little bit different, surprisingly. And this is if you're really going into the intraday charting and you're trading and really, you know, starting to go much more heavily into trading mark. But you can just see a nice steady higher lows coming, higher lows, higher lows, higher lows, higher lows, higher lows, gets a nice good peak right on the trend, comes crashing down on the 8th of Feb, breaks down, like I said, from the 50% mark. There's the 618 mark, doesn't even get close to it. And again, once again, you have higher lows, higher lows, higher lows. You start seeing higher lows, higher lows, higher lows, higher lows. And now we're starting to have a bit of accumulation, get a bit of a push up, fail at the 50%, and we'll attempt it again shortly. But look, on the hourly chart, the volume actually says a bit of a different story. High volume, green, you can see, look at that. All of that is nice green, but you can see how volatile this coin is on the hourly, which tells me this is a highly traded coin. Hit 70 in the RSI in the oversold area, coming back down 45. Like I said, I do anticipate this coin to get going, but this is a very short-term hold in my opinion. Having a look now at the 4-hour chart, you can see it just cleans things up a little bit more. Heavy sell-off day on the 22nd of January. Found support once again at around that $17 mark, pretty much perfectly. Found double bottom there, higher lows forming, rejection once again at the trend line, and we're creeping up again on consecutive 4-hour bars. You can see 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. So about 6 out of the 7 bars on the 4-hour chart were green, closing relatively strong, but you're just seeing high volume, but this is quite a volatile coin to be trading. So be careful with this one. Notice I'm using the word trading. So it depends what your trading strategy is. If you're trading them on the hourly, on the daily, on the weekly, whatever it is, but just be careful. If you're investing long-term, this is where the next charts that you're comparing it to Ethereum and BTC are really important. So let's have a look at what Filecoin does compared to Ethereum first. So we're on Coincodex, where I compare all these coins to Ethereum, and we're on Filecoin rank number 42 according to Coincodex, and already you can see just losing value to Ethereum. 1 year mark down 70% to Ethereum, year to date down 22% compared to Ethereum, 67% down compared to Ethereum in the 6-month area, 3 months down compared to Ethereum by 43%, 1 month down compared to Ethereum by 19%, 7 days down to Ethereum compared to 2.7 days down compared to Ethereum by about 2%, 24 hours outperforming Ethereum by 3%. So on the higher time frames, no surprise, underperforming to Ethereum. You want to be careful about that because I feel like most people hold their coins for a good while. And this is why I say you can just buy Ethereum, outperform other cryptos out there. And you can already see how many cryptos do bleed out to Ethereum. If you don't like Ethereum, fair enough, but you can see how many altcoins bleed out to Ethereum consistently. Look at EOS, completely bleeded out every time frame. Be a very risky buy. If you're trading, it's a different story. You'll have your own criteria and things like that. Then anything's up for grabs. But long term, this is a really important thing to do, is just compare them to Ethereum or Bitcoin, and you will see how many coins can't hold up to it. And now I have Filecoin against Ethereum on the actual trading view chart, and hopefully you can see that is just a complete downtrend. I mean, look at that, got hit so hard. Basically, the all-time high against Ethereum, as far as this chart can go from, was on the 16th of October 2020. So you would have had to hold your coin basically all the time and you still would have been dumped on compared to Ethereum. And this is just how it goes, guys. This is why I say compare your coins. Now, 2nd of April, putting the top for 2021, came crashing down very, very quickly. And this is why you want a coin that's very strong, because it gives you more room for error. If you want to sell out of your coin and you were holding Filecoin, you would have not had a very long time to be holding it. You would have basically had about, pretty much about a month and a half of a decent chunk compared to Ethereum to be able to sell it, which isn't very long. Came crashing down, and this coin is really, really struggling big time compared to its Ethereum chart. And you can see we are actually at the all-time low compared to Ethereum at around that 0.0064 of an Ethereum, which, I mean, that's not very good. Did find support once again around that 618 mark, but I mean, you know, ask yourself, guys, if you didn't know what coin this is, and I said this is a coin that's compared to Ethereum, would you invest in this downtrend? And if we compare Filecoin to Bitcoin on the daily, once again, you can see very similar chart, complete downtrend as well. All-time high was probably put in around that 16th of October, like we saw in the Ethereum chart, but basically got dumped on. Had a good, decent pump, but you can see this coin is struggling. You can see all-time high was on the October 17th. All-time high for last year was in April. All-time high for second half was September. You can see the time ranges are getting smaller and smaller. It's having trouble outperforming the lows. The highs aren't getting any higher. They're really struggling against their BTC and Ethereum value. So if you're going to hold it, and I'm repeating myself here, you're better off holding Ethereum, and that's just being unbiased. Trading is a different story, like as we saw on the 1 hour chart and the 4 hour chart, but definitely I think there's some value here in trading, but I would not be buying this coin at all in terms of investing. That's just my own opinion. It's not financial advice as all with all of my videos, but regardless, I hope you liked this honest take on Filecoin, ticker code FIL. If you enjoyed it, give me a like, give me a subscribe, and I will see you on the next video.